the hate army troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. Hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
So here's what's going on. As a result of my newfound success and people wanting to watch my content and be involved with me, and, you know, first of all, of course, immediately what happens, and I'm not joking, I'm no less than 5 different of my detractors this week contacted me to say they want to be on the Level 1 podcast. I'd like you to think about this. So because I'm finding my footing again in the realm of relevancy, because people like me and want to see my content, my detractors think this is a launching point for them to get newfound popularity and views. They want me to have them on my show. No, you are not coming on the Level 1 podcast. You don't deserve to. You understand? You have tried to destroy me and my family and my business for 10 years. You have insane actions that you do against me. I'm not giving you a new way to now do that on my content. You're out of your fucking minds. Not a single one of you will I waste time on talking to on the show. There are way more interesting people on this planet than my detractors that I would love to talk to before my detractors, okay? For example, if I'm walking down the street and I see a random person off the street, I would rather pull them into this room and interview them live than talk to my detractors. There's no point. It's like, you know, I might talk to a frog. The frog might actually ribbit and give me more intelligence. Okay? So no, the detractors, all out of their minds, trying to get on this show. By the way, there'll be a follow-up to the story about the detractor that wants to sue me today. And it's absolutely hilarious because you're going to actually see the real intentions behind this incredible fake lawsuit in a second. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, excuse me. So, I have thrown out a ton of feelers to a bunch of different people. Okay? People from all over the place. People who I've had association with over the years, people who I've never had association with. I've just tossed out a whole bunch of feelers. I've gotten some initial feedback. I've gotten some initial responses, but not a lot of like, oh my God, this is amazing. I have 27 guests lined up or anything like that. So I just want to forewarn you guys, even though I am trying, it doesn't mean that people are immediately going to have the same exact change of feeling towards me like you guys have. A lot of people aren't even aware that people like me again. You know, they'd have to look and research for themselves to figure this out. So, FYI, I am trying. I'll let you know when I have more information on that. But as of now, nothing definitive yet. Except for one. All right? One person directly responded. And I'd like to tell you now a summary of our conversation. Because I'm kind of confused. And before I even start on the show, I just want to make sure that, yeah. So, here's the deal, okay? I reached out to Stuttering Craig, who I haven't talked to in over a year, basically, directly. You know, I've talked about him on my show, but I've never actually, you know, talked directly to him in a very long time. But I still have his email address and everything from the many times that he tried to contact me last year to have him on my, have me on his content so that basically he could milk my detractors more for money. But I refused and I ignored him all year. Okay, so I wrote to him and I said, probably in a pretty tough way, that I wanted to have him on the show so we could clear the air. All right. And he did initially respond. And he said, all right, so basically, you know, he would be interested in doing it. But, you know, he wanted, you know, details and stuff and stuff like that. And so I went back to him. And I was basically like, listen, if you saw the Keemstar interview, I think you have the gist of what it would be. But it's not going to be anything, you know. Basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to build suspense with the guy, okay? I wanted him to not exactly know what it was going to be, but at the same time, you know, I'm not going to surprise this guy. I'm not going to jump on with surprise attack questions and surprise guests and freak him out like he did to me in the interview with me. I had no intention of doing that, right? So I basically said something like, well, you know, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, very surprised by how it goes, okay? Something like that. So that was like a day or two ago. So yesterday on my day off, he emailed me again in the morning, and he's basically like, you're being way too vague. And I'm not comfortable with that, because you're being too vague of what this appearance would be on your show. So he wants more information on what it's going to be and everything, right? So basically, I write him back. And by the way, now I've pitched a time to him. I said, it would be that you appear on the show at like 11:30 a.m. Like I do my warm up around 11. You'll come on 11:30. You stay for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how the conversation goes. And basically I said it'll be similar to the Keemstar appearance or whatever. I have no desire to get into a fight with you or anything, but what I want to do is I want to go over the history of how this thing happened last year. How did you decide to reach out to me to be a guest on your show, but how did it change from being a guest appearance on your regular show to a full-blown 5-hour expose interview like you did with me? What was the conversation around doing that interview, including what was supposed to happen the next day, what was supposed to happen with me actually showing up as a real guest? Basically, all that stuff that I've talked about publicly in the last year, and I doubt he ever did. Or if he did, I'd be shocked if he actually told the truth, because the truth is pretty bad. They really did screw me with the way that they behaved, okay? So basically, that's what I want to do. I said, by the end of it, I want to just hash all this out so we can get it all out there and get to a resolution, because I'm tired of having this lingering feud, basically, right? So I told him all that, and basically we went back and forth a few more times, but basically he said if he was going to come on, it would be Thursday, all right? And what he would do is he would do his show, then he would jump on my show, and then he has personal stuff to do after. And I was like, that's all fine. Like, I have no problem with that. Sounds good to me, But we hadn't locked it in yet, because basically he came back and he goes, well, am I going to have opportunity to ask you questions too? Like when Keemstar was on your show, you said, hey, do you have any questions for me? And he didn't really have any, but, are you going to ask me if I can ask you questions too? And I went back to him, and this is officially the last time that I really spoke with him. I said, Craig, you had 5 hours to ask me whatever questions you wanted a year and a half ago, and you very well did. Your appearance on my show is not meant to be the DSP interview part 2 for you. You had your chance. Then all this crap happened after. The appearance is to hash out what happened so we don't have to be at each other's throats anymore. I'm not going to have you interviewing me again. And I even told him, I said, this week, my documentary from June the King is coming out on Monday. I will literally be doing a react to this over and over, like every night. So all questions about me will be addressed and answered when I react to my own documentary. We don't need to have you asking the questions, okay? So if you're okay with you appearing and us hashing it out, which is the purpose, because this is different than Keemstar, we didn't really have like a particular bad thing to talk about, right? We had a few things to discuss and stuff like that. In this case, we literally have a 100% honed in bad thing that happened to me to talk about that we need to hash out. I want to hear from his perspective what he feels about it, because maybe in his mind, he legitimately 100% is justified with the way that he handled the situation. I don't feel that way. And I want to explain that to the guy man to man, rather than just hearing him yell on my own streams and him clapping back on his. And it doesn't make sense if you're not having a true back and forth, correct? So that's what I want to have, all right? So by the way, I sent him that email yesterday around 1:30 p.m. and he had also asked for my Discord. I sent him my Discord. So I said, here's my Discord. You can send me a friend request, so that way we could talk via Discord rather than email, if, that makes more sense. And then here's how it is. And I even said, if you're not okay with that, if you're not comfortable with that, coming on the show and talking about what happened last year and that being the focal point, then we don't have to do it. But I would like a yes or no answer. So that was 1:30 p.m. yesterday. All right. I went about my day having my day off. No response. So it was like 9:30 last night, and I'm getting ready to, relax with my wife and then go to bed. And I sent him another email and I said, well, Craig, I sent you my Discord. You haven't added me yet. I don't have yours. Okay. I can't add you. I would like to know if it's a yes or no by the time that I'm broadcasting tomorrow so I can tell my audience. In fact, look at this. I even went out of my way and I had someone make something awesome to promote it. I was going to put up the placeholder stream for Thursday so that we can even have people get ready for it, click their notification icons and stuff. Like, we're good to go. All right? He hasn't responded. It's now been nearly 24 hours, and I haven't got a response from the guy. Now, the weird part about this is apparently yesterday, he went on his Twitter account in his afternoon, and he tweeted that he's appearing on my show this Thursday. Yet he hasn't responded since 1:30 p.m. yesterday to me to actually lock it in and say he's okay with the appearance, being that it's not going to be the DSP interrogation interview part 2, which it sounds like what he wants it to be, and it will not be. Okay? So, guys, I don't know what to tell you. This might be happening, this might not be, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I don't get a definitive answer within the next 24 hours, I'm just canceling the whole fucking thing. Because I'm not going to waste my time getting jerked around by someone because it sounds to me like he had an agenda. Like his whole idea was to get another interaction with me live, so now he can grill me again with more stupid fucking questions about shit nobody fucking cares about, to make him look good again, and then maybe he's good, he looks good again in the eyes of the detractors. Something I don't know. But the point of the whole appearance is to hash out the bad blood we have because of last year. So why would he not be okay with that? Right? I don't get it. So I don't know. I'm waiting. I sent him my Discord. He hasn't sent me a friend request. Okay? I'm waiting for the response. It's been almost 24 hours. I got nothing. Nothing. All right? So that's it. I'm going to officially say this. Craig has another 24 hours, so by noon tomorrow, if I don't get a definitive, yes, I'm okay with the criteria for the show, and yes, I will appear, the appearance is off, and I'm not going to waste my time on this guy anymore. All right? Sarah, if he wanted to bring, what's his name? I don't remember his name, Adam Krigler or whatever, he could, but up to my knowledge, he just had a kid. Yeah. I think he just had a child, so I think he's pretty busy. I don't think he really cares about darksydephil if he just had a child. So I'm not going to fault him for that. I'm sorry. I mean, let's be reasonable here. This is a dumb internet feud. You know what I'm saying? This is not anything like in the realm of relevancy to like, oh, I had a child. I think that's a little more important. I'm going to give him a pass on that one and not really care. All right. And by the way, for those who don't know, Craig is the person who literally runs side scrollers, owns side scrollers, does all that shit. Everyone else is kind of like a co-host that helps him, but he's the definitive driving force of the show. He's the one who directed that show the way he did. So he's the one who I have issue with. Okay. It was funny actually because he had sent me an email back in February, and the email said, we would like to invite you on our 1-year anniversary show. I've heard that you have bad blood with us, particularly Adam. And I was like, the fuck is he talking about? When did I ever say that I have like particularly bad blood with Adam Krigler? Adam Krigler, I don't know him from a hole in the wall. Why would I have issue with him? You're the one who had me come on the show, and you're the one who derided me for weeks afterward, accepting money from my detractors. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just confused. These people literally make up these narratives out of nowhere and pull them out of their butts at whim. I don't even know what he's speaking of. Thursday, I might or might not have Craig on the podcast as a guest. It depends on him, and if he decides within the next 24 hours, if not, forget it, and I'll figure out other stuff, okay? And then Thursday's day stream, it depends on what happens, because if we do the interview, probably we're going to want to have like a decompression session, just like we did with Keem. So that'll cut into the day stream, and then if we have extra time, we'll maybe either hang out or maybe do some more Street Fighter. And then, again, Thursday night likely will be maybe my final reacting to my documentary, get it over with, okay? And that's my week, because I'm off on Friday next week, okay? So there you go. I really don't know what else to say. I don't know why he didn't respond since 1:30 p.m. yesterday, why he didn't add me on Discord, despite the fact that I sent him my Discord. I don't know what else to say, all right? He's an enigma. The man is an enigma. A mystery wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a conundrum. Figure that one out, okay? I'm trying to be reasonable here. And then K Vibes did a super chat. He says, Craig talked about the future interview on a show yesterday. So he hasn't even fully committed with me to be on it yet, but he's talking about the interview on a show. You can't make it up, man. You can't make it up. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. What would you describe that? Manic behavior or something? I don't know. How do you not confirm with the show that you're going to be on, that you're going to be on it, but then say on your Twitter and on your own show that you're going to be on it, but then you left it at 1:30 p.m. yesterday, open-ended, and didn't answer, and didn't add me to the Discord? I have no effing clue, man. I really don't know what else to say. You tell me. Would you let Outsider on? Wouldn't say he's a detractor. Isn't Outsider the person who did a lot of the "This is how you don't play" videos, I believe? And then some moron struck them down in my name, and I never did that. And I actually feel bad because Outsider makes good ones, and I was actually at one point going to react to them. And then, like, a bunch of them got taken off the internet. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's someone I would consider. All right? Only because if they made those videos and it wasn't, like, constant personal attacks on my family and personal shit, instead of it was just about the gameplay and shit, that's good-spirited, I feel. Right? But if he's one of these people who sits around constantly making fucking videos, 17 videos in 3 days, monetizing the videos, trying to make $5,000 a month on me like an asshole, I don't think so. So I don't know, because I don't know the extent of this guy, okay? It's obvious Adam doesn't like you. He bashed you the most. If the interview does happen with Craig, let it be one-on-one, because otherwise Adam will butt in. I despise Krigler. In reality, even if Adam doesn't like me, I don't think he portrayed it that way in the interview. If anything, he called out Craig in the interview, if you remember. He literally said, Craig, the way you're acting, it's like you're trying to get Phil to confess to something, like you want a big confession. You're trying to coerce him into something that he obviously doesn't want to do. He actually said that during the interview. And he's right. That's definitely what was going on during that interview, is they were trying to coerce me into a confession, which wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to be forthcoming because there was nothing to confess. So, you know what I'm saying? But then after the fact, I think he talked shit about me endlessly on their show or something like that. But the thing is, I don't watch their show. So I don't even know what happened after that. I never watched a single piece of their content ever again. After the slander session they did on me the next day, I never paid attention. So I don't know what he actually said. Well, Craig has just finally accepted to be on the show, and he says he sent me a friend request. I gotta find that. Where the hell would that be? Where would the friend request be? What the? I don't see it. Oh, wait. Oh, God. I was monstrously delayed. All right. All right. Good. Now I can stop trying to wait for him to email me back. Stupid. Let me just save that. All right. So it sounds like we're on for Thursday. It sounds like we're on. So that means... Hold on. This is real. This will be happening this coming Thursday. All right. Well, I promised you guys some stuff, right? I sure did. And you're sure getting it. This has been a wild month, has it not? And it seems like September will be no exception. It seems like some stuff is coming that is going to be pretty darn interesting around here. And like I said, again, if other people do respond to the stuff that I've thrown out there, it could continue. But again, it's not on me really, it's on other people to give the chance, because I feel like a lot of people are just apprehensive. I've been down on my luck for so long, and so many people have been so nasty that I think a lot of people are just afraid to really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are just afraid to do anything with me. And that's sad, because as you can see, things have definitely changed around here. It's a totally different attitude. It's a whole new vibe. And people are happy with the stuff that's coming out now. You know what I'm saying? Jade says he will not see him on September 5th. Jade, I totally understand. Jade, I hate to say it, and this is what I've said. This is what Craig doesn't understand. Okay? When people rag on me, and when people do these kind of stuff, it's not just about me. It affects my community as well. So the way that I was treated a year ago by these people on side scrollers, basically, it led to my viewership basically feeling beat up. You know what I mean? Like, people felt awful for a while. And it wasn't, I would say, until Street Fighter 6 came out, 3 or 4 months later, where I got my momentum back. I started playing Street Fighter, getting good at it again. And then people were, oh, this is exciting. Phil's playing Street Fighter and kicking butt, right? That was like the first time that there was any positivity around here for a very long time. It's sad that Craig doesn't get that. Like, to him, it's just probably like, well, we interviewed you, we don't believe you, so we have the right to say whatever we want and make money however we want. Well, yeah, except you have to have some morality in your life, too. Like, for me, the content that I make, I want it to be that at the end of the day, I can sleep soundly and know I didn't hurt anyone today. I didn't destroy anyone or their families or their businesses or their community. I made content that was good. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, sadly, that's what he doesn't understand. Maybe I'm wrong, because we're going to have this conversation. on Thursday. All right. And we will hash this out at this point. Okay, we will. And go from there. But I really hope that we come to some kind of an agreement. Even if we can't come to terms on like this was right or wrong or whatever. I don't like having grudges. I don't like having bad blood. All right? Yeah, I feel pretty shitty right now about this man and his behavior, and I think we do need to hash it out. I just hope that this could be the end of it. I don't want to have continuing bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I just want to be a guy who can sit here and play games, have fun with my community, with my viewers, and just chill. That's all Jayde wants. And poor Jayde being pulled through all this drama recently. Like here's the thing. I don't want to just have guests on this show that are drama guests. I would like to have guests on this show that are positive guests. All right? All right. How about this? I will publicly say this, and I have no clue if this would ever happen. I would like to have Wings of Redemption on my show as a guest. I would like to talk with him about how we've both been bullied by our detractor communities and the parallels between there and how his life has been affected by this kind of behavior. Because I think we have a lot in common in that regard. Now, he's definitely made different mistakes than I have, so we're not the same in that regard. But I would love to just sit here and have a conversation with the guy that's not confrontational, because honestly, I don't think we have anything to confront each other on. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like we do. But I think that would be a great guest and a great experience, and everyone would like it. But I don't know if he'd be up to it. The ball would be in his court. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just so everyone knows, again, I've thrown out feelers to a lot of people out there, and I'm waiting to kind of hear back from a lot of people. And I think a lot of people saw, oh, fuck, DSP is sending me a DM or emailing me. Oh, this is the guy who everyone hates. I don't know if I want to touch this guy with a 10-foot pole, right? And that's sad because things have changed, but a lot of people don't know that. So it might take a while for that kind of notion to go out there and for it to be known amongst the common people, not just us in this community, but like normal people realizing I'm not the devil, right? Okay, but we'll see. Because that's what I mean. I don't want, like, every single podcast special guest to be a drama guest. I'd like to have some nice, cordial guests where we can talk about things we have in common and shit. You know what I mean? So I am looking towards that as well in the future. Okay? Okay.
Typically helps me more than anything.